Can I have your usual music or no?
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my respectful obeisances of those listening from the Charishla Prabhupada. Thank you, Maharaj, for coming to the class. I'm going to put the verse on the screen and then we can start the class, Maharaj.
Okay.
My video will be off, Maharaj.
Down, SWAMI. Namaste, Saraswati Devi Gopani, Pacharane, Nirvisesha Shanya, Vari, Asyatelesti.
I'm having a network issue. I'll try again. Yeah, the verse is up now, Maharaj.
Okay. Jai Radha Madhava, Kunja Vihara. Jai Radha Madhava, Kunja Vihara. Gopi Jana Bala, Giri Bharadha. Gopi Jana Balava, Giri Bharadha. Yashoda Nandana, Raja Jana Ranjana. Yashoda Nandana, Raja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira, Banacha. Yamuna Tira, Banacha. Jaya Radha, Madhava, Kunjabiha. Jaya Radha, Madhava, Kunjabiha. Gopi Jana Balava, Giribharada. Gopi Jana Balava, Giribharada. Yashoda Nandana, Brajajana Nandana. Yashoda Nandana, Brajajana Nandana. Yamuna Tira, Vanachari. Yamuna Tira, Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava, Kunja Vihara. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nasta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavat Utama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naisti Ki. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very mean of conquest, we first offer our obeisances to Narayan, the personality of Godhead, to Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author, and to Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning. By regular attendance in the Srimad Bhagavatam class, while rendering service to the pure devotee, all that is inauspicious in the heart becomes destroyed almost to nil, and thus loving service to the personality of Godhead, who is praised with chantal song, comes into being an irrevocable fact. Text number 9, third canto, chapter 3, correct? Tasu
Kasu
apatyani
Apatyani
janayat
Ajanayat
atmatulyani
Apatyani
sarvata
Sarvata
ekaikasyam
Ekasham
dasha
Dasa Dasa
here
Prakriti
Ushaya
Vibhupasaya
tasvapatyan yajanayad
Taso Apatyani Ajanayat
atma tulyani sarvata
Atma Tuyane Sarvata
ekaikasyan dasa
Ekaikasha Dasa Dasa
prakriter vibhubushaya.
Prakete Vibhupasaya.
Anyone else?
Taso Apatine Ajanayat Atma Tuyane Sarvata Ekaika Sham Dasa Dasa Rakete Vibhupasaya.
Anyone else? Anyone else? Tasu
Tasu
unto them
unto them
patyani
Pajani
offspring
offspring
ajanayat
Ajanayat
begot
begot
atmatulyani
Atma Tuyane
all like himself
all like himself
sarvata
Sarvata
all respects
on respect
ekasyam
Ekasham
in each and every one of them
in each and every one of them.
dasha 10
Dasha and
dasha 10
yeah,
prakrite
Prakite,
for expanding himself
expanding himself.
vibhu vibhu
Vibhu,
so desiring.
Vibhu of desiring.
Translation: just to expand himself according to transcendental features. The Lord begot in each and every one of them 10 offspring, just like himself, with exactly his own qualities. That means his 16,108 wives, 10 sons in each one. Next verse. Kala Magadat Talvadin Anikai Randata Puram Ajiganat Swayam Divyam Swapumsam Teja Adishat. Kalayavana, the king of Magadha and Shalva, attacked the city of Mathura. But when the city was encircled by their soldiers, the Lord refrained from killing them personally, just to show the power of his own men. Can I repeat it? Kalayavana, the king of Magadha,
Kalavayana, the king of
and Shalva attacked the city of Mathura.
and Sava, the capital city of
Mathura. But when the city was encircled by their soldiers,
but when the city of Mathura reached by
the Lord refrained from killing them personally,
the Lord refrained from killing them personally,
just to show the power of his own men.
just to show the power of his own men.
Purport. After the death of Kamsa, when Mathura was encircled by the soldiers of Kalayavana, Jarasandha, and Shalva, the Lord seemingly fled from the city, and thus he is known as Ranchor, or one who fled from fighting. Actually, the fact is, the Lord wanted to kill them through the agency of his own men. Devotees like Muchukunda and Bhima, Kalayavana, and the king of Magadha were killed by Muchukunda and Bhima, respectively, who acted as agents of the Lord. By such acts, the Lord wanted to exhibit the prowess of his devotees, as if he were personally unable to fight, but his devotees would kill them. The relationship of the Lord with his devotees is a very happy one. Actually, the Lord descended at the request of Brahma in order to kill all the undesirables in the world. But to divide the share of glory, he sometimes engaged his devotees to take the credit. The battle of Kurukshetra was designed by the Lord himself, but just to give credit to his devotee, Arjuna, Nimittamatram, Baba Savyasachin. He played the part of a charioteer, while Arjuna was given the chance to play the fighter and thus become the hero of the Battle of Kurukshetra. What he wants to do himself by his transcendental plans, he executes through his confidential devotees. That is the way of the Lord's mercy toward the pure, unalloyed devotees. Om Jnana Timirandasya Ganagana Shalakaya Chaksur Militanyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarane Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnave Bhyo Namaha. Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namani Gora Trishe Namaha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Jayatam Suratopangor Mamamandir Matergati Mat Sarvasya Padambojo Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohano. Divyad Kalpadrumado, Shrimad Ratnagara Singhasanasто, Shishirada Shila Govinda Devo, Prestali Be Savyamano Smarami. Shiman Rasa Rasarambi, Vang Sivata Tatastitaha, Karshan Venu, Sanar Gopi, Gopi Nata Shriye Stunaha. Sapta Kanchana Gaurange, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari, Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya. Okay, so this is very interesting. Some pastimes. I think everybody, hopefully everybody is familiar with Jarasandha and Muchikunda and Kalayavana. But it's always fun to go over the same pastimes again and again because we dive deeper and deeper into it and get to know more about Krishna. So Jarasandha, 2 daughters were married to Kamsa. Jarasandha was very powerful, kind of like a leader of demons. But then when he attacked Kamsa one time and he saw how powerful Kamsa was, the elephant Kalavayapita that Kamsa kept that attacked Krishna was actually the elephant of Jarasandha. And Jarasandha had sent him in to attack Mathura, and Kamsa just picked him up and threw him back very far. So Jarasandha realized he should make friends with Kamsa. So he did. And he gave his 2 daughters in marriage. So when Krishna killed Kamsa, then the daughters became widows. So Jarasandha was extremely angry at Krishna. So he gathered together like 16 or 17 Akshohinis, same number that was on the Battle of Kurukshetra. And attacked Mathura. And Krishna and Balaram with a small force, they went out and annihilated everyone except Jarasandha. They let him go. They kidnapped him and let him go. And then, which is very, embarrassing for a Kshatriya, but his friends convinced him that actually Krishna wasn't more powerful than him. And it was just, bad luck or something. And he should do it again. So many times he attacked. And then the last time, there was another demon named Kalayavana, a big Mlecha. And he came with a big army. So at the same time, these 2 huge armies came. So sometimes anyway, Krishna just left the battlefield. But here was explained that, he wanted to let his devotees do the fighting. So he was just walking very casually. So this Kalyavana, very, very powerful Malecha, he was chasing Krishna. But even though Krishna was walking very casually, he could never catch him as fast as he tried to run. So that's something about Krishna. So finally, Krishna went in a cave. And the demon, he thought Krishna was hiding. He went in the cave and he saw somebody's body in the back of the cave. And so he kicked this person, but it wasn't Krishna, it was this Muchikunda, who was a king. And very powerful. And he was so powerful that he'd been recruited by the demigods. And he'd been fighting for the demigods, for thousands of years or something. Finally, the demigods had come out victorious against the demons. So they asked him, you want any benediction? He hadn't slept for all these years, so he said he wanted benediction that he could sleep undisturbed for a long time. And if anybody woke him up, if he opened his eyes and looked at that person, they would just burn up, poof. People have this kind of power, So he got that benediction and opened his eyes, and this Kali Yavana burned up. And Prabhupada explained that Krishna didn't want to fight with this Kali Yavana. He was a mleccha, like meat-eating, low-class person. And Krishna didn't want to touch him. Somehow he did below him or something. But he wanted to glorify Muchikunda. So the Muchikunda, he woke up, and you can read the Krishna book, please. So beautiful prayers he gave to Krishna. But then when he went outside, he was shocked. Everything was so small because he's from a previous age. So he was much bigger. The trees were smaller. He said, everything has shrunk. So he just went off to some mountain to spend his life in meditation. So that's Jarasandha and Muchikunda. Jarasandha was eventually killed by Bhima. He was a big troublemaker. He was extremely powerful. He was originally born in two pieces for some reason. So the parents just threw these two halves, split right down the middle, threw it in the forest. But then there was a demon witch lady named Jara, and by her mystic power, she put them together and became such a powerful demon. So Krishna, when Yudhishthira wanted to do the Rajasuya Yagya, or the Ashwamedha Yagya, I don't know which one. Krishna was consulting with Uddhava, and Uddhava said, before you do this, because Ashwamedha Yagya means that challenge horse goes all around the world and challenges all the kings. And Uddhava said, you should first eliminate Jarasandha because he will not accept this when the challenge horse comes. So Krishna agreed and made a plan. Krishna and Arjuna and Bhima, they dressed as Brahmanas and they went to the Magadha kingdom, which is now Bihar. It's funny now, Bihar is like one of the poorest parts of India. But in the history of India, more kings came from Bihar than anywhere else. And it's actually rich in, like Nigeria, I guess it's rich in natural resources, but government's not very favorable to the population. So, so they went, and because they were dressed as brahmanas, and this king greeted them and was, he thought they looked a little funny because they had big, bodies and scars from fighting and things. But he offered him, what do you want? Charity, I'll give you anything. So Krishna said, I'm your old enemy, Krishna, and all we want is a fight. So he laughed. He said, well, Krishna is a coward. He already ran away. I can't fight him. And Arjuna is a wimp, but I'll fight Bhima. So they started fighting, and they were both so powerful. They were fighting with clubs, and then they were just fist fighting, wrestling. And it went like 28 days, I think. But at night, they would sit together and take their food and drink and enjoy each other's company. But during the day, they were fighting to the death. Well, this is Vedic culture. We can't imitate Kshatriya culture, right? we might think we want to be Kshatriyas, but then if we study, their weddings and always the big fights, people getting killed, and gambling and all these things, you can't imitate that kind of Kshatriyas. So then Krishna, he was talking to Arjuna, and Krishna picked up some kind of grass, and he was saying, talking really loud, like Bhima's having trouble, and he ripped this piece of grass in half. You can take a big thick grass and just tear it in half down the middle. So Bhima understood, he somehow remembered that Jarasandha was originally two pieces. So he threw him down, and he put one foot on one leg and pulled up the other one, and he pulled him into two pieces. Then he threw the pieces into the bushes, but in different directions. And this demon Jara was not there at the time. So that was the end of Jarasandha. But Krishna, being a proper Vedic king, he put Jarasandha's son, he installed him as the new king. He didn't think, to kick everybody out and kill everybody and change their whole culture or anything. But the son evidently was not so demoniac. He was nice. And that was the end of Jarasandha. So you can see that how Krishna here, he consulted with Uddhava, what should be done. Uddhava was his most important minister. And how he is such a good leader that he wanted his devotees to get credit, not that he wanted to take all the credit for killing. So, and then he got that name Ranchor, because they thought he ran away. Actually, Jarasandha thought he'd killed him. They went up on some mountain, and then Jarasandha lit everything on fire. But Krishna and Balaram, they had jumped off the mountain. He jumped very far. So the Lord is mercy towards his devotees. He gives them all credit, like any good leader should do. We need to study that because we need a lot of leaders. But leader is not just a title. Okay, I'm the president or I'm the secretary or something. It's quality. A leader leads. He inspires people. He goes the first one over the wall. He's the first one out in the fight. And he gives credit to everyone else, even if he did it. The manager type, the boss type, they're pushing everybody from behind like modern politicians. They're in a underground, 3 stories underground bunker, making plans how to send all the young boys out to fight. So that is not leadership. It's just something else. So that's why Krishna is called Ranchor. Sometimes you see deities. He didn't run away from fighting. He just, had another plan in mind. So Jarasandha was the king of Magadha. And Mushakunda was, I think, the son of Garga, but somehow he was a demon. Raksha, a Mletsha, very low-class person, but very, very powerful. So Krishna wanted to show off, just like he told Arjuna, you be an agent, you fight. You don't have to Krishna said, I'm doing everything, but you fight. You be an instrument. And then Arjuna gets all the credit. Like Hanuman is practically more famous than Lord Ramachandra. That's by Lord Ramachandra's arrangement, to let the devotee get all the credit. Ramachandra could have swallowed up all of Lanka by himself. That wouldn't have been a problem for him. Krishna could have fought the whole battle of Kurukshetra by himself without any problem. Or he could have just had an earthquake swallow up everybody or something. But he had other plans. And the thing, the world now, I was just thinking, I remember Bhakti Tirtha Swami was always talking about these earth changes, the weather. He was kind of visionary, but things were changing all the time and the cultures are changing. There's there's a few ancient cultures left that are like in the jungle and no one's ever found them yet. There's very small groups of people. But most cultures are getting all merged with so many others. Tribes are getting all mixed up, and especially where we talk about Vrindavan. If you really, people ask, what was it like in Prabhupada's time, and they want to know history. So I found out, my god sister, Sitala, she's the wife of Harisari Prabhu. And she made a big series. It's called 50 Years on YouTube, 50 Years in ISKCON. And, she's telling how she joined and then how things were. It's very fascinating, for me. And of course, she's saying, this is what I witnessed, we don't know exactly. Everybody has a different experience at the same times, depending on where you were or who you were working with. But it's really fascinating. And I don't know how many, so many different episodes she really got into, like 10 years at a time. But like Vrindavan, I went there in 1975. It was a dirt road, no cars ever came. If you go out from the temple, there was nothing else, nothing all around anywhere, only forest. So if anybody's been there lately, it's like Lagos, just big buildings everywhere and noisy traffic and, much different hotels, restaurants, luxury advertised everywhere, luxurious apartments. And the wild animals are staying away. So things change so much, but it's really no different. The bottom line, underneath it all, it's all eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. and birth, death, disease, and old age. People are trying to avoid disease and old age. Not possible. You can avoid old age by dying early. That doesn't sound like anything anybody would volunteer for. If they're saying, I don't want to get old, then except, the four Kumaras, they didn't want to get old because they didn't want to get sex desire, so they stayed 5 years older. They were different. They were sons of Lord Brahma and great yogis. There was one children's story, it's probably still around, Peter Pan, and there was a whole bunch of boys that didn't grow up. There was a song, I don't want to go to school. I don't want to get old. I don't want to go to school. And then they got their desire fulfilled somehow or other. But generally, that's not going to happen to anybody. We're going to be born. Anyone who's born dies for sure. And anyone who dies will be born again. The devotees want to try not to be born again in this material world, but to transfer to the spiritual world where we belong. So Prabhupada has been very kind. Lord Chaitanya came and gave the most merciful process. Saying Kirtan. I just saw an article, there was surveys, and they say singing or chanting in groups is very good for building up your immune system to avoid sickness, to become, protected, better than any vaccine. No side effects. And so that's what Lord Chaitanya gave us. But not only we're singing Hare Krishna, singing the Maha Mantra, the name of God, that's not just ordinary singing in some kind of camaraderie and group think or something. It's transcendental sound. So not only is it good for your body, this has been tested many places. And they also say responsive singing is very good for developing your brain or something. Like kirtan, one person leads, another person, everyone else responds. Both of these things are experimentally proven to be very good for mental and physical health. So we're very fortunate. We have the Maha Mantra, we have the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, which is the topmost of all Vedic literature, the essence, the cream of the Vedas, and has many things that you won't find in the Vedas. It's very hard to find. But it's one-pointed. Krishna, Bhakti. Lord Chaitanya, he told that Devananda Pandit. The Bhagavatam is all Bhakti. There's nothing else. There's no karma kanda. There's no, how to do yagyas to become a king in your next life, or to be born in America, or whatever you want. There are in the Vedas all these kind of yagyas, all kinds of fasting and mantras and things you can do to get material benefit. But this is not our business, and our business is to please Krishna. If we're really trying to please Krishna, except a really big demon, everyone will be very happy with our kirtan, with our temple, with our programs, with our association. If you're really seeing Krishna in everyone's heart, Kanishta, he worships a deity. He thinks he's a great devotee, but he fails to see Krishna in everyone's heart, so he doesn't preach. But we want to be madhyam, we want to preach. And Krishna's in everyone's heart, and we want to wake them up so they can connect to Krishna. That's what everybody's looking for. Everybody's searching or think they have it. Nowadays, they just think if I get money, then I can be happy. Because if I have money, I can manipulate people. I can buy whatever I want. I'll be some prestige. I can go into the beauty treatment. They've perfected, so many surgeries and so many things you can put to make you look younger and grow your hair back and all these things. So that takes a lot of money, but people are thinking, I'll just get money and I'll get beautiful women. I'll get so many nice cars. And when I have the nice cars, the women will jump in. They're thinking like that. Of course, it's not true. But and Lord Chaitanya is teaching complete opposite. Nadanam najanam nasundarim kavitam va jagadishakamahi. Mama janmani janmanishri. I don't want all these things. No, nadana janam. I don't want it, following and admirers. And I don't want dhanam, money, wealth. And sundarim, I don't need beautiful women all around, or beautiful men, or beautiful whatever people want these days. We don't want anything. All I want is it causes devotional service in my life, birth after birth. And that same prayer we find throughout the Bhagavatam, Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, so many devotees' prayers. They're all like the essence is, we don't want anything but service. We want the association of devotees. We can be so foolish that we'll think, well, I don't like this devotee, I don't like those devotees. But the really advanced devotees, when they're offered a benediction, they say, I want to be always with devotees. Because the devotees are chanting the holy name. The devotees are talking about Krishna. The devotees are doing service to Krishna. They will gladly allow us to help them. Well, that's a special mercy. And we should all try to remember great devotees like Bhakti-tirtha Swami. We have, so many great souls have come and gone. We wonder why Krishna takes them away. I just heard my God sister, she asked Bhakti-tirtha Maharaj, she was thinking, why would Krishna take him away? He's such an important preacher. And she asked him, and he said, well, Krishna has his plan, and my leaving will inspire people more than staying. He told me that personally also. I was looking at him, and his face, he looked completely all right. And I said, maybe you can recover, He said, no. He said, I can do much more by leaving. So he had some vision. And of course, we've seen how he's come into the hearts of so many of his disciples, taken up his mission, representing him really nicely. So many of you. So we want to just carry on distributing books. We have so many marathons. We just finished the Bhagavatam Set Marathon and Chaitanya Charitamrita Marathon and Bhagavad Gita Marathon. So pray we can get more books and more vans and more devotees so we can purify the country. At least you don't have wars and stuff. I was just in Israel, and the day after I left, Iran started bombing Israel. But Israel intercepted all their bombs. But still, it's a little scary, And Israel's attacking more and more countries. They want to eliminate their enemies. But we all have the same enemy. Is lust, anger, and greed, illusion, envy, and madness. These are the 6 enemies of everyone. And they can be defeated only by Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All right, so we'll see if you have any questions or comments.
Thank you very much, Maharaj.
We have some odd time today, so we don't have so many in attendance.
Thank you very much, Maharaj, for the beautiful class. Thank you for giving us your time. We are most grateful.
My pleasure.
So, dear devotees, if anyone has a question or comment, please kindly indicate by using the hand emoji or physically raise your hand or put on your video That would be much appreciated.
Where is the Radha Madhava Mandir?
Hello, Maharaj.
Kavicandra Maharaj, this Kavikanapura Das.
Who is it?
Kavikanapura Das.
Yeah. Where is Radha Madhava Mandir?
It's in Manila, Philippines, Guru Maharaj.
Manila, Vanilla. Okay. You get your visa straightened out yet?
Yes, Guru Maharaj, I have missionary visa already.
So when's your family coming?
We are ready for that, Guru Maharaj.
Okay, get them back together. All right, any comment or question?
Guru Maharaj.
Let's hear it.
Anyone with question, comments? It appears the devotees are satisfied with the class. No one is raising a question.
Yeah, peaceful today, huh? So what's going on? Anybody have any preaching reports?
Well, a whole lot is going on here.
You hear from Lagos all the time, but because Utpala is reporting constantly on about 4 different platforms, but I don't hear from anyone else except Pavitra.
I just posted yesterday the report of books distribution for last month and the upper month. We distributed over 700 books in the last 2 months.
That's
just posted on World Sankirtan report yesterday.
Just for Jas?
Yes, for Jas Maharaj.
Wonderful. All right. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
That's what gives it life. Prabhupada said the book distribution reports are keeping me young. That's giving me life.
Yeah. I try to improve my reporting because of lack of manpower, so much work to do. So I don't update the report on a daily basis, but I will try to improve upon that. But we're really doing a whole lot of engagement of at the university, government agencies.
Great. At least weekly. You have to get someone to help you. Right?
He's just been given the responsibility as one of the advisors to the government on election matters and development of the policies of the state. So we had an engagement yesterday.
Really?
Shared Prabhupada's formula of simple living and high thinking. We open to contribute more. We gave the governor the Bhagavad Gita and coming back.
Okay. Good. Very good. I'm going to have to get some more books sent over there pretty soon. And
okay, so if there are no questions or comments, so we'll not take much of Maharaj's time. So probably I will request all of the devotees to please kindly all unmute themselves. Let us loudly chant a loud Hare Krishna Mama.
Quiet. You really there, Varaha? Varaha, you quiet?
Prabhu, are you The temple, can you speak? Murari
Swami,
Thakur
what
Prabhu.
happened? He ran out of questions? The question man?
Murari Thakur Prabhu, do you have a question?
I think he couldn't think. He was always trying to come up with questions that were impossible to answer. I think he ran out of them. Okay. Haribol.
So in the absence of any questions, we request all of devotees to please kindly all unmute. Let us loudly chant a loud Hare Krishna mantra to appreciate Maharaj giving us his time.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
We might have somebody on
Mataru
YouTube.
Vyascha, Kripa Sindhu Vyascha, Patitanam Pavashnevyo, Vaishnave Pranam.
Jai.
Holiness KAVICANDRA Swami Maharaj ki jai.
Sankirtan
Founder
ki
Chara Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Our grace assembled devotees, Hare Krishna.